Well, we're game week, and I'm excited. So, it was a lot of fun watching football over the weekend, and I think there's a lot of really cool matchups coming up this week. Just really excited that we get back to, what we know, and that's prep for the opponent and get everything rolling and be within a week of the game day. So, I don't think school starts yet, so there's no excuse for anybody not being on time to the game. It'd be a lot of fun. But really, looking at our opportunities as a team to perform at our best, regardless who the opponent. The opponent happens to be Portland State. We have a lot of respect for them. Bruce Barnum is a well-known coach, has a great reputation, and has done a great job as a leader, as a coach for decades. And so I have a lot of respect for him and how he does his job. I've had a lot of interactions and have met him on the field as an opponent many times, and so he always has his team ready. I think you look at Portland State, they played a nationally ranked team, the FCS level in Tarleton State last week, and it didn't go well for them, but the thing that as you can see, that they played a variety of players at quarterback, and they've just been using a lot of different sets. It's good to get on film, but their tendencies aren't going to be shown on one game. But they do have the leg up on having a game under their belt now, and we're still hoping that our guys show up and do their best right away. But you just never know. And so I think that's something that I've said this before, and I'll say it again next week, that you make a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2. And so we imagine that they're going to come in here ready to play. They have nothing to lose. They got to give us the best shot. We just got to make sure that we return the favor. So the focus will be us playing at our best. I feel really good about the program. I feel good about all 3 phases right now and the coaching. We just got to get some work done today and go throughout the week of prep and see what happens on Saturday. So what questions do you guys have?
Do we have any questions for Coach?
Sounds like I answered them all.
All right, we'll start with Jake Hatch.
Yeah, Kalani, I just wanted to start off. You mentioned the fact that you know Coach Barnum really well. What do you know about Portland State, and what's your philosophy, I guess, overall on FCS games and how you approach them?
Well, I think the approach is just to make sure that we're playing at our best. I mean, it's one of the games out of the 12 that we have guaranteed on our schedule, and this one happens to be, week 1. They were fortunate to get a week 0 game and to get a game going, but it was good that it's kind of a trade-off. We get to watch them play and get to scout the one game that they played, and so there's still a little bit, probably some new things that for them to see it from us, but most of that's personnel. When you're looking at the coaches that we've been able to retain on the entire staff, and so I think there's not going to be much change from last year to now, but you just never know. We have creative coaches, but Coach Barnum, I mean, they call it Barney Ball for a reason. So he'll have his guys ready. They're tough. They'll play hard. And I've been a coach at the FCS level before, and having the opportunity to go to a place like Provo and play in LaVell Edwards Stadium is going to be something that you're going to mark on your calendar. You're really looking forward to. So we know those guys are going to be ready to play us, and so we just got to be at our best. I mean, have a lot of respect for every opponent. At the same time, we want to make sure that we do what we want to do in terms of executing the plays and being fundamentally sound. But you still have to have respect for your opponents. You still have to, what you see on film. I mean, they do everything that you do too. They work hard, and so you can't. Nothing's just going to happen. They're just not going to show up and bow down to us. They're going to give us a game. So we need to make sure that we give it to them too.
All right, next question from Mitch Harper.
Kalani, what are your expectations for Bear Bachmeire in his debut as the starter?
Just do what he's been doing all camp, and just lead the offense. I think he's done a great job, especially when we announced him as the starter. He's done a great job being the leader and connecting with his teammates, working with everyone. I mean, I've been really impressed with the entire quarterback room. But I think he'll be ready, looking at his demeanor and his intelligence and things that he's picking up. I think he's amped up, he's ready to play. They got excited when we came back and played in front of 1,000 or so fans I think the Cougar Club came to one of our night practices in the stadium, you can tell that the players are getting really excited for that moment. So I know that he's going to be excited just like the rest of the team for the game on Saturday night. But I just expect him to just do what he does and nothing more. I don't need him to do anything extra. Just be Bear Bachmeire and we'll be fine.
And then wanted to ask you, Jonathan Cabella is not on the depth chart. What's his status and timeline for how long he's out?
Yeah, we got some guys working through some things, and like I said before, we're not going to name any injuries or any issues unless it's a season ending. So we're hoping to get him back. We got some guys on that list that are still on our roster that are working through some things, and we're hoping to get him back. I think when we start doing the availability list, that'll be going to the Big 12 conference play.
All right, next question we'll hear from Jay Drew.
Kalani, since you named Bear the starter last Tuesday, how has that been received among his teammates, and have they kind of rallied around him or maybe increased their efforts knowing that there's a true freshman back there? What have you kind of seen from the rest of the guys?
Yeah, I think I've seen the team rally around the whole entire quarterback room. When we're going into camp, knowing that there's a quarterback competition, and that's what I've seen from the beginning. So it's not like that just started happening on Tuesday. The team's been rallying around each other and rallying around the quarterback room from the beginning, from when Jake left. So I've been really happy with the leadership and the way the guys have been able to rally around each other and rally around the quarterback room. It's a lot of trust that our team has in that room, and so I think when the announcement came through, the guys already expected it. So, what we expect our guys to do right now is continue to keep going. It's not like there's a set moment where like, hey, let's all believe in him now. That's already been happening since he got here, since McKay and Trayson and Emerson, all those guys have been under center. Our guys have rallied around that position altogether.
And as a follow-up, how would you describe to BYU fans Bear Bachmeire's makeup, his personality, his characteristics? What kind of stands out on that side of the young man?
I think they'll find out for themselves. I mean, I don't make any statements. I let them get to know him, and I think people have got to know him already, just like his teammates do. I don't want to. Just a good kid, just like the rest of the team. We have good young men that are here working hard, and they're here for the reasons and all the right reasons. So we just want to then highlight the things that they can do and they can perform on the field as well as off the field. So I'm really proud of who he is and decisions he makes on and off the field, and just happens that this Saturday we get to see it on the field.
All right, next question from Brandon Gurney.
Yeah, Coach, Che was listed as an or along with Ciali at Mac linebacker. What has Che shown you during fall practices during that designation where he's a co-starter?
Well, I think the shows you that we have a lot of different. If you look at the depth chart, there's a lot of ors there. We have versatility with our defense, and Jay's been able to utilize a lot of different body types at different places, and you see a little bit of that this Saturday. I think there's a lot of creativity and innovation in our room, in the defensive side and offensive side, but I trust them all. It just happens that we have more guys than just 11 that can play, and so we have to find a way to utilize all of them, and they've earned the right to be on the field, maybe even at the same time. So with that being said, I mean that's good that you have more than just 11 starters, that you have more than just 3 backers that can play. We have 6 to 7 backers that can play at one time, and the fact that we trust them all and that they understand the defense and they're grasping the scheme has been really nice to see, and Che's one of those guys that's done a great job at it.
All right, another question from Jake Hatch.
Kalani, Matt Campbell, after their game in Dublin over the weekend, pointed to his staff continuity as one of the strengths he thought of the program. You have all of your coaches back this year. How much do you think that continuity can help you guys this season?
Well, I think it's huge. I mean, there's not a lot of new teaching and learning, so there's the coaches are able to establish. We have our team culture, and then these assistants have their own unique spin on things and their own unique culture in their position rooms. And so to have that and the continuity of that and the continuity of our analysts and our graduate assistants and our support staff and everybody that's kind of been there the whole time. It's just nice that our guys are able to kind of be around them for a while, and in a time where there's a lot of change in staff, it's really good to have it be, the guys that were here last year and the guys that were here before. So I think it's going to be a benefit for us. Is why we wanted to do everything we can to keep them here, and I hope it's going to show up like it did for Iowa State in their first game.
How would you assess the readiness of your guys on the offensive and defensive lines right now?
Yeah, we'll find out, man. I feel good about them. I mean, they've been battling each other, so they're either really, really good or really, really bad. So there's been some really good battles. So that's hard to tell sometimes, but I have a good feeling that it can be a good thing. But not perfect. But we want to be as good as we can and perform as best we can this game one.
All right, next question from Mitch Harper.
Kalani, why was there still an or at backup spot after camp where, A-Rod noted that McKay and Bear were the ones kind of getting the majority of reps or splitting or kind of separating? Why is it still kind of up for debate at the backup spot at quarterback?
Because we want more competition still. We'd like that. I felt like the competition was really good at the beginning of the year for the entire room, elevated Bear and the others, and we'd like to see that continue to elevate the entire room. I mean, we feel comfortable with all those quarterbacks being able to get on the field and play for us. So that's pretty much the reason for it. I mean, we have an idea of who we want to put out there if something does happen, but and we just have an idea for all different possibilities and things that could happen. The probabilities of a lot of different things happen in the game of football. We just want to make sure that we're ready. So, but I think the competition has been really good for everybody.
And then just wanted to ask you, year 10 for you, how do you feel like you've evolved as a coach since those early years when you were last up against Portland State and Coach Barnum? How have you evolved, do you feel, as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think I learned quite a bit. I mean, I'm still learning, so there's still a lot for me to learn. I mean, I think I'm getting older, so I'm making probably better decisions than I ever had before. But I'm getting older, and I think there's a trade-off. You can't jump as high or run as fast, but you learn some wisdom. And sometimes there's a school of learning is a different thing. Sometimes you learn the hard way, and sometimes you learn from others' mistakes. I think as a coach, I've learned quite a bit from both, but I've had some amazing people around me that have been great mentors and advisors to me, and many of them I get to work with on a day-to-day, as I go through my schedule, and I'm just around really good people. And then I get to coach amazing young men and be around a fantastic fan base that I just absolutely love. And so still learning. I don't give up on me yet. I'm still learning and hopefully keep getting better. So, but I've learned quite a bit from. Yeah, you look at me from year 1 to year 10. Yeah, it's night and day difference, and I hope in all the good ways.
All right, question from Jake Hatch.
Kalani, kind of associated with that, you were recently named an associate athletic director inside the athletic department. What does that add to your day-to-day responsibilities, if anything?
Yeah, it gives a little bit more meetings, and I'm able to be in different settings, and probably not just all ball, but fortunately for me, I have coaches that are able to delegate decision making on offense, defense, and special teams. But what I don't want to do is jeopardize any of my time with the players or my availability to them. So it's a little bit extra work, but it's okay. I don't mind it. I like being busy, and I like things to do. So if it's a benefit for the program, benefits our student athletes, and can be a benefit for the university, then I'm excited to do it. And so hopefully I can do that role just as good as I can do everything else. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited to being there and learning under following Brian Santiago's lead as athletic director, and with our vice president. I mean, it's been great for me to be involved with them and kind of be more in the behind the scenes of things. And so it gives a different perspective for me as a head coach too, to realize that there's so many people out there working so hard for us, and gives me just a better understanding and a more appreciation for all the energy that goes into us playing. Even this Saturday, just all the work that it takes from so many people that don't get any recognition. So I think in a way that's been a huge benefit for me to realize that there's a lot of really cool things that happen from so many people in different areas that it's humbling for me.
Also, we're almost 2 months into the house settlement era with the revenue share and the like. From your vantage point, how's it gone so far?
Yeah, great. I mean, we brought in a general manager for a reason, and Dave George has done a great job at that. I've been really pleased with everything that he's done. That's not an easy job, and that's why I don't do it. You know, I know some head coaches can do that stuff. I'd rather go be an associate athletic director rather than be a general manager. But I know that he does a great job being general manager. And then having him work with Travis Hansen and the administration in that regard, with the idea of just the concept of just taking care of the student athletes. And that doesn't mean just straight money. It means education. It means giving them the right platform and the right resources to allow them to be successful. So I've been really pleased with what he's done there and what guys have done around him. So I'm just really happy with everything. We just got to keep it rolling.
All right, last question will be from Sean Walker.
It's a lot of pressure with that last question, but Coach, I did want to circle us back to the defensive line conversation a little bit, because we've seen a lot of really good things from Keanu Tanavasa and some of the guys in that area. But what stood out to you in particular in training camp about JT and Logan Latui, who are both on top of that depth chart right now?
I think the entire position and the entire front seven has been really impressive to me. And I think that goes down to the leadership. You mentioned Keanu, JT, those guys at Vil, Woha, Bodie. I mean, all those guys have done an amazing job. I know I'm leaving guys out like Logan and all those, but it's just they're a really good group, close group, and to have Sione and K-pop. So Sione, K-pop, Gary Anderson, and Justin Enna, Chad Kaha'a. Those guys handle the front seven has been nice for me because I know what they're doing. And I know all the things that are being taught, and the guys are responding really well to it. They're about it, and they're really close as a unit. I'm excited to see them play Saturday. But yeah, that combined with the linebackers, I think we've had. You guys are going to hear from Jack. He's a great leader for us, and he's going to do. I mean, him being the captain for our defense and being able to be the leader for us last year and then carry over he's here this year with Glasker and others. I mean, that stuff matters. And then to have all the new parts come in and be just right as a cohesive group has been really nice to see. So I just want to see them ball out on Saturday, man. We're going to try to get ready today and prep this week and give the fans what they're, hopefully match their expectations of what they want to see this weekend.
All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, of course. All right, we'll get into some questions. Does anyone have any questions for Jack? All right, first we'll hear from Jay Drew.
Hey, Jack. I know you're on the other side of the ball from Bear Bachmeire, but what was kind of the team's general reaction when coaches went with a true freshman to start at QB, and how have you guys kind of supported him and rallied around him?
I mean, we were all excited. We know our coaches are going to make the right decisions and who's performing the best at this moment. We all love him. He's a great guy, great leader for this offense, and he had a really amazing camp, so we're all rallying behind him.
All right, next question will be from Mitch Harper.
Jack, when you say Bear had an amazing camp, how challenging was it to go up against him when he was, operating with that first-team offense?
It was challenging. He makes great reads, throws a good ball. He's a dual threat, so he can run when the pocket collapses and things like that. So it was a challenge, but it's good for us to learn from that, and it was good for him to be able to do those things against our defense as well.
All right, next we'll hear a question from Sean Walker.
Jack, we talked during camp about how much Ciale has been impressive in that linebacker room. I think you've brought him up a couple of times, but what do you make of Shea Bryant Strother, kind of running right there with him, being neck and neck in that competition at Mac linebacker, and how impressive you've been with Shea's game, I guess, for camp?
Super impressed. Him and Ciale have done a great job, have a great camp. Obviously, Chase had another year under his belt with this defense, so he's been learning it. He's playing a lot faster now, and he played some DN and other stuff at UCLA, so his pass rush ability really comes into play. But he's had a great camp learning the scheme, and, yeah, him and Ciale are going to be great at that max spot.
All right, next question from Jake Hatch.
Jack, when I talked to you at Big 12 Media Days, you said you had aspirations of getting double-digit sacks this year. You still believe you can accomplish that?
Yeah, for sure. I think coaches will put us in good positions. Obviously, that's my goal, so I hope I can accomplish it. But we have the coaches, pass rush coaches, that have all done a great job with us this camp, and we've continually trended upward, and everyone's got better pass rushing.
You mentioned the pass rush coaches. Coach Chad K, I believe, is the one working with you. What's he brought? Like, what has made the difference, in your opinion, with him working with you guys?
Really working on the little details like footwork, hands, different moves. We have a lot more moves in our toolbox now instead of just certain ones. So now we have like different things we can throw and then have counter moves off of those. It's just a lot of different things in our toolbox now.
All right, next question from Mitch Harper.
Jack, is someone who was a former FCS player, do you kind of emphasize the importance of always staying dialed in because of this opportunity that an FCS team has to play an FBS?
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be a big game for them. It's a big game for us as well. FCS players are great players. They can play football really well. So I think it's definitely important for us to stay locked in and stay true to our game plan.
Wanted to ask you, too, staying in the linebacker unit, Sam linebacker, Ephraim Asiata's there now. What's maybe the big changes between OE and Sam, and what does Ephraim bring to that linebacker unit with you guys?
I mean, it's a very similar position. Obviously, he's going to be in coverage a lot more now, but Ephraim's a super physical, fast kid. He can read run well, read pass, get in the drops, play man coverage, so he's done a great job at Sam.
All right, next question from Brandon Gurney.
Jack, you and Isaiah were kind of the headliners heading into the season, established yourselves as top playmakers last season. What strides have you seen from Isaiah, and what strides have you seen from yourself personally, just going into this season?
I would say understanding the full playbook. Obviously, we knew our assignments last year, but now we're understanding where safeties are dropping, corners are going. So it kind of helps us better with run fits, certain things, just where to fit, because we know where the safeties or corners are going to fit off of us. So just playing at a faster, higher level now.
Next question from Sean Walker.
Jack, I don't know if you recall any of this maybe from your time at Weber State or anything, because I believe you faced Portland State a time or two. They've got a really unique offense. They call it Barney Ball up there. Do you remember anything about Barney Ball, or what have you kind of read into it, looked into it, kind of thing that sort of excites you to go against?
I haven't really heard Barney Ball, that term used, but their offense they have a lot of unique plays, so it's definitely a lot of misdirection and stuff that's going to test our eye control and eye discipline. So it's going to be a fun challenge for us, and we're excited for it.
All right, any more questions for Jack? All right, looks like you're good to go. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, guys.
All right, next we're going to have quarterback Bear Bachmeire, so he'll be here in just a second. Hey, Bear, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. All right, let's go ahead and get into some questions. All right, first we're going to hear from Jake Hatch.
Bear, Jake Hatch, KSL Sports, is on in Salt Lake City. Just wanted to ask you, what was your reaction? We haven't had a chance to talk to you since you were named the starting quarterback, but what was your reaction to being named QB1?
Yeah, it was thrilling. It was a great moment. It's an incredible honor to represent such a profound university, and obviously being on the football team. It's an incredible honor.
What was your confidence level when you got to BYU in late May, when you finally arrived, that you could earn this job as early as you did?
Yeah, you always want to be confident in yourself and your ability. I think with the support cast, Coach Mitchell and Coach A-Rod, and even the quarterbacks in the room, elevating everybody's game. But yeah, I would say that my confidence level was pretty high.
All right, next question from Mitch Harper.
Bear, what expectations has Aaron Roderick now set for you since being named the starting quarterback?
Yeah, I mean the expectation is to win a championship. I think the individual expectation is we want to complete the ball. We want to put the ball in our playmakers' hands, and we want to go score touchdowns. But the end goal is to win a championship.
And then wanted to ask you, A-Rod noted that last Tuesday told you the guys in the morning that you were going to be the starter, but when the team was told that you were going to be the guy, can you describe that moment and maybe what was the reaction from the team and how they've kind of supported you since?
Yeah, the support has been second to none. When the quote unquote leaders of the team are happy and just gravitating towards you, and it's special. And we got a great team, and I think we're going to go really far.
All right, next question from Jay Drew.
Hey, Bear, take us behind the scenes a little bit. What kind of, when you were named the starter, what happened to did your phone blow up? Who was the first person you called? What are your kind of recollections after you first learned that you got the job?
Yeah, I mean, it was a surreal moment. It was very special. I kind of stayed off my phone that whole day, and we just finished practice, so kind of getting my cool down on, and getting in the tubs. So I mean, I wasn't really looking at my phone, but I probably called my dad after and told him the deal. So it was cool.
And what if you were able to, I don't know, make an announcement to Cougar Nation? What would you tell them about yourself? How would you kind of introduce yourself, as it were?
Yeah, I like to think I'm a pretty outgoing guy, and I like playing the guitar. So I like having fun, and I like to think I'm a good football player too. But yeah, I like playing the guitar and just having fun with the guys. So I think that's that. That's that.
What's your go-to tune on the guitar?
Wagon Wheel. I like playing that one.
All right, next question will be from Sam Foster.
Hey, Bear. Since talking with your brother, Tiger, he kind of has a lot of unique hobbies for a football player. Computer science major, likes to sing, likes to code. You mentioned that you like to play the guitar, but do you share a similar interest with Tiger, or what else do you like to do off the field?
Yeah, Tiger's a different dude. I mean, yeah, I mean he can fly airplanes, and he speaks Chinese, and the list goes on and on. I like to say I beat him in chess every once in a while, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I like playing the guitar, I like singing, just different hobbies, and going outdoors and doing whatever, playing with buddies. So yeah.
And then what has your older brother Hank, has he given you advice ever since you've been named the starter officially? What was your family's reaction to that?
Yeah, especially my brother. I mean, he's played college football for 6 years, and he's got a lot of experience. So just being a sponge with him, I'm very fortunate to have him, and yeah, he's helped out immensely, and yeah, the support of my family is second to none, and I mean, I love them so much, and just trying to make them proud.
All right, next question from Sean Walker.
Yeah, Bear, congrats on winning the starting job for week one here coming up. Every time we talk to A-Rod about you, he brought up how impressed he was at the way you learned the playbook. He said you learned the entire playbook since you got here, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you've been on campus since like June or July or something like that. Just how did you kind of dive into the playbook and pick it up as quickly as you did? Were there a lot of late night cram sessions, or what was behind that?
It was a big test. It's a big testament to Coach Mitchell and Coach A-Rod. I met with Coach Mitchell, I mean, almost every day. Install 1, install 2, install 3, and so forth. So I think me learning the playbook, I give a lot of credit to Coach Mitchell, because, I mean, he taught me the whole playbook in, a month, 2 months, and just, yeah, and then I had extra hours to kind of memorize and regurgitate the information. But I mean, I test the learning process to Coach Mitchell. He helped out immensely.
All right, next question from Mitch Harper.
Bear, what has, if anything, has been maybe the most challenging aspect of, transitioning? I know you've been in college football since January, but just the transition from high school to college, what has been the most challenging thing thus far in this year for you?
Yeah, I think, when I think about the whole process, I mean, I obviously had the opportunity to go to Stanford and end up transferring to BYU. I think the biggest thing to get acclimated to was obviously the speed of play coming from high school to college football, and I think that's kind of self-explanatory in itself. You're playing against Division I ballers, and just trying to get acclimated to that. So I think that was the biggest discrepancy coming from high school to college.
I wanted to ask you too, Bear, how familiar are you with maybe the history of BYU at the quarterback position? Was that something that appealed to you when you were deciding on BYU out of the portal, and how just kind of aware are you of the signal callers that have played that position over the years? Yeah,
it was a big factor. Like I said, it's an incredible honor to represent such a quarterback oriented university. Not only the lineage, but even recently, with the Zach Wilsons, the Jaron Halls, and so again, it's an incredible honor, and that played a big factor coming to BYU.
All right, next we'll hear from Jake Hatch, and our last question will be from Jasmine Papinga after that.
Yeah, Bear, as I understand it, you've worked with John Beck extensively throughout your high school career. There was a picture of you with him in Provo not that long ago. What has he done to help you further your game throughout your high school career, and obviously now on your time at BYU, et cetera?
Yeah, he's done a great deal. I mean, he's such a great resource to utilize. I started training with him when I was in 7th grade, and I don't want to nerd out, but we get into the weeds of biomechanics and trying to refine my kinematic sequence, and actually just called him last week about his process going into game days and what it is from Sunday to Friday night, and so he's just been a great resource and very grateful for him.
As it's already been mentioned, you came in with a short amount of time to get on the same page with your teammates. How did you build that chemistry with such a limited time?
Yeah, we do. We have big ping pong battles. We play Settlers of Catan a lot, and we started playing Secret Hitler, so that's been fun. And then also Clash Royale. So I think the biggest way to form camaraderie and that brotherhood is not football related. I think it comes down to doing hobbies and just being kids and just having fun with your buddies.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Bear.
Thank you.
All right, and then last but not least, we're going to hear from Chase Roberts. He'll be here in just a second. Hi, Chase. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Do you have any questions for Chase? Jasmine, do you have your hand still raised?
I don't. Let me put that down.
Okay, no, you're all good. All right, first we'll hear from Mitch Harper.
Chase, how would you describe the readiness of this offense behind a true freshman quarterback going into week 1?
Yeah, I've had a new quarterback every year I've been here, so it's nothing new, I'm excited to go out and play, and we've done great in years past when we get a new quarterback and when he's learning the playbook. And I think, like you were talking about with Bear, he's gotten the playbook down so quickly, and he's a stud. He's been making a lot of plays. There's a reason why we named him the starting quarterback this year. So he's got that fire, he's got that energy. When we get in the huddle and we go out and go against the defense, he's the one to get the energy going, to pump us up. So we love Bear, and we're excited for him, and you'll be able to see his playmaking ability in a week. So it's exciting.
As someone who's been diving into that playbook for the last, since 2021, for 5 years now, are you kind of blown away that he was able to pick it up to a level where he can be a starter in week 1?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it took me a while to get it down, but when you got a guy like Bear and his mentality and what he wants to accomplish, I think it makes sense on how quick he picked it up and how much time he put in. It's it just takes a little bit of effort, right? Effort and time to pick it up and be the guy, and he's done what he needs to do to accomplish what he needed to in camp, and then to be the guy going forward.
All right, next we'll hear from Jake Hatch.
Chase, this is what I expect to be your final spring and fall camp, obviously, your final season as a Cougar.
Yeah.
What's the mindset this year versus previous years?
I think enjoy every moment. Being able to be, on the field again at LaVell Edwards Stadium and to be with these guys that, I've come to love so much. I think I just want to take advantage of every second I have with them, and I think it's a lot more fun when you win games, so that's definitely up there on wanting to do that for sure. And so just enjoy every single moment I get and make the most of everything.
I've heard a lot of your teammates and coaches that I've interviewed during camp use the term good to great, kind of a mentality you guys have for this season as you go through this year. What does that mean to you?
I think, when you tie it to just life in general, you can live a good life and just go through and be kind of on the fence, but if you really want to live a great life, you put a little extra work in, and you go out and you look for people in need, and you go be like the Savior Jesus Christ, right? And I think stepping up to that level is hard. It takes a lot of hard work, and I think that's what we need to do as a team, is to take it to the next level, to not only be there for each other on the field but off the field, build that trust, and ultimately just be like the Savior. And it's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of discipline, but I think that's the team that we have this year. We have guys that are capable of doing that and understanding that, and ultimately when we do that, we're going to win a lot of games and have the best team, that we've had in a long time. So.
Okay, next question from Brandon Gurney.
Yeah, Chase, you mentioned previously that you've had to break in, start with new quarterbacks every year you've been within the program.
Yep.
Has it been different just knowing that Bear's a true freshman? And can I take us behind the scenes? How did you acclimate and maybe get up to speed with that true freshman? And how's it been with Bear specifically in that regard?
Yeah, everyone has different personalities and ways they go about their life, right? And Bear is a guy that is very mature and someone that you don't think of as a freshman quarterback, right? He's got the body of a linebacker, and he can hang in D1 football. That's not anything you're worried about. He doesn't need that, growing when it comes to like the physical aspect. So, and then his mentality that he's had all camp, he doesn't act like a freshman quarterback. So when you go out and you make plays and you lead the team, it doesn't matter if you're a freshman or you've been in college football for 6 years. The people rally behind you and they trust you. And I think once you go out and you prove that, which he has during camp, and I think which he will during these first couple games, then we just get rolling. And it doesn't matter, I guess, the age or the experience, but that you go out and you play well, and that's what he's going to do. So we're excited for him.
All right, next question from Jay Drew.
Hey, Chase, I think the last 3 years, this will be the third straight time you guys open with an FCS opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You prefer that? Would you rather face maybe a Power 4 opponent, or does it even matter in the opener?
I don't think it matters. I mean, we just like to go play football. I think whoever's on our schedule, we just go out and play our best and try to get that get that win. So if it's Alabama week 1 or Portland State, we're gonna go out and we're gonna have fun playing the game that we love, that we dreamed of as a kid playing. We get to be in Lavelle Edwards Stadium, so whoever shows up, they're gonna get a game. They're gonna get a team that goes out and plays their hardest and makes a lot of plays and gets the crowd rolling. And so we're just excited to go play some football.
And then, sorry about all the Bear questions, but what were your first impressions of Bear the first time you met him? What did you think of him?
Both the Bachmeire kids are characters. They're just themselves. They don't care about what other people think of them, and they're definitely fun time to be around. So I was excited to get to know them better, and we definitely became friends pretty quick. And we go out and go-kart race and do some fun stuff like that. And they were always the one kind of leading the group, wanting to do that stuff. And they just called me yesterday to go fishing, and so little things like that. It's been fun to have them around and to be their friends, and then also gain that chemistry on the field and be able to go and understand that this is an honor to play for BYU football, and that we need to go make some plays for the fans and for the community and for the world to watch. And so it's been such a blast to have them.
All right, next question from Sean Walker.
Chase, I got to follow up on something that you said about Bear. I think you said he's built like a linebacker. He's got the body of a linebacker. He's a big dude, 6'2", all that. He also has the jersey number of a linebacker.
That's true.
You don't see very many quarterbacks wearing number 47. Was that weird to get used to at first, or are you guys kind of leaning into one wearing 47?
No, it's awesome. I love it. It just shows his personality and who he is, and it fits him perfectly. Like, he just doesn't care about what other people think of him or fitting the mold, or he's just going to be him and do what he does. So I think it's a perfect number for Bear, and it represents, the type of guy he is.
All right, next we'll hear from Mitch Harper.
Chase, how does your mindset change, if at all, now going into a season, being appointed as a first-team All-Big 12 receiver and kind of having that bullseye a little bit where you're viewed as one of the top receivers in the league and the country?
Yeah, sure, it could bring some pressure, I guess, and but I don't play the game to get the accolades or to be at the top. I just love being with my brothers and playing football, and that's what I'm going to focus on this year. And the results are going to take care of itself, whether it's first team All-American, draft, all that stuff. It's going to happen as I just focus on being the best player I can be and having fun, enjoying the game of football, not bringing all this unnecessary pressure on myself. And I feel just so excited and so honored and blessed to be able to be in this position that I am, to help grow the faith of others, by trying to emulate our Savior Jesus Christ and hopefully being an example for the younger generation. And that's what I guess what I love about playing football here. And the results, with all that, the accolades will take care of itself.
Does that weigh on your mind? Like your faith, represent how you represent your faith when you go into games, and like what it means, I guess, bigger picture than just football? Yeah,
it does. Yeah, that's honestly what brings the most pressure, but also what calms me down the most is understanding that whatever happens, I'm just going to trust in God, and whether I have one catch or 9 catches, right? I still get to go out after the game and sign kids, helmets and footballs and be a light to them, and that's what keeps me happy and keeps me going and playing this game. But yes, you got to win games too to be a light to others. So I also want to be one of the best teams in college football so that we can have a better opportunity to do that.
All right, that's going to be our last question. So thank you, Chase. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Happy game week.